Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is?
God was big business. Even Kanye West knows that.
Jesus walks.
That's right. The direct quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger, "I'll be back," is a direct quote out of my book. Some people will accept the truth and other ones won't. I'm like Kanye West. I'm not here to turn atheists into believers.
This is Eduardo Small on special assignment for counterracism.com. We're here live this morning to conduct a very important, very special, and very exclusive interview with the very important and very special Miss Sophia Stewart, author and creator of the epic The Third Eye, otherwise known to many as The Matrix. This morning I intend to cover some background behind the epic work, in addition to what I consider to be most interesting, since counter-racism is about solving problems, that being the strategies and techniques Miss Stewart used to solve the problem of having her copyrighted material used illegally to create a $5 billion franchise of which she has never been given a dime or the recognition. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Miss Stewart. Good morning, Miss Stewart. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing? I'm doing fine right now. I also want to add to that commentations that you just did. It's two huge franchises that my work was pleasurized. The Terminator series also is involved, and it's $2.5 billion, but overseas it could go anywhere from $5 billion to $9 billion.
That is interesting.
The lawsuit is a $2.5 billion lawsuit.
We'll get into later on how you came to find out that the Terminator was a part of it, because I found that to be a very, very interesting part of the whole story as well. But first, can you give me a little bit of background on what your inspiration was to create The Third Eye?
Yes, like everybody knows about Star Wars. In the late 70s, 1977, I saw Star Wars for the first time, and I understood George Lucas's concept. When I was viewing Star Wars, I didn't look at it as entertainment. I saw that Darth Vader was actually Satan flowing from the light side to the dark side, and that Star Wars was actually the wars in heaven. Then I got to thinking about a concept that no one had ever even thought of, and that was the second coming of Christ. Because I'm very spiritual, I'm not religious, but I'm very, very spiritual. I believe in God. So I thought about ways. They say that God was going to come back. It's the second coming. He didn't come back in the past. He didn't come back in the present. So, hey, he got to come back in the future. What's going to be happening in the future? The machines and technology would be ruling, and then nobody would believe that God even existed. So that concept, the seed, was born in me. And what I did was so uniquely special, so different, was I put it into the second coming into science fiction form. In other words, I put revelations in science fiction form. Something that has been never been expressed before, ever like that. Cecil B. DeMille, he had always done all these great Ten Commandments and the Robe and so forth, and like Mel Gibson had just done Passion. But see, Hollywood is not really big on putting things about God, movies about God, on the forefront. They never become a movie. Just because the Matrix and Terminator made all this money, was Mel Gibson able to make all this money with Passion and for it to become an A movie. So therefore, I started something. I saw that God was big business. Even Kanye West knows that.
Jesus walks.
That's right.
Why did you feel it necessary to include the second coming of Christ in your epic body of work?
Well, there's a lot of men that show honor to other men upon the earth. As you can see, all the award shows, the Oscars, Grammys, and so forth, they give honor to other men. They're always legends and so forth. But I gave honor to God. I'm very spiritual. I love God. And I believe that God's voice needed to be heard. One way of getting his message out there. Definitely.
I can see that. So can you tell us, since you brought up the Terminator, how does the character of Neo or John Connor relate to that of Christ?
Let me explain to people. I've never seen the movie Terminator. It doesn't matter, and I have never seen Matrix Reloaded and Revolution, and that doesn't matter. Let me just tell people what's my book and what's in my work.
Okay.
They pleasurize my work. My book is an epic that spans past, present, and future.
Okay.
And it's talking about the second coming of Christ, the woman who has the baby that the Terminator has to come back and protect, the child that becomes like he's unisex. On paper, he's a girl in my book because the Terminator has to come back and protect him. He doesn't even know who he is at this point.
Okay.
He's still in a sleep state.
Okay.
Then when he becomes a man-child, which is the last part of the Terminator series, the Terminator has to come back again a third time to protect him. Now go on into the back of my book, which is the future part of the book. He becomes Neo. He's part of the prophecy. The rebels come and wake him up.
Oh.
Purpose when he gets to be 30 years of age. The revolution or the rebellion starts. Then look, his human side is burnt away. He comes into full power. Now he's able to deal with machines himself, and he does not need the Terminator to come back and protect him or help him. He can deal with the situation and resolve it himself.
You're refreshing my memory, but when you say that you refer this to the Bible, when I just listening to you speak, the whole notion of the ominous us or them coming for what was to be thought of as the next one or the chosen one kind of reminds me of the story in the Bible of Mary and Joseph and what they were going through in terms of having to, what it seemed to be, hiding or trying to escape or get away right before the birth of Christ.
Exactly. See, the reason why the stories retold the same way but it's different, it's futuristic, is because whatever has occurred before will occur again. And since it's coming into the future now, it's just different circumstances. That's why my expression is so important and it's so protected by the copyright, because it's a form of expression that has never been done before. Even though these people lie and in the film history tell me, well, there's always been a chosen one, that's bull crap. The way you express something is what is very important. It's protected under copyright.
Right.
It's so uniquely different and make it so uniquely yours.
Right.
Plus the direct quote from the Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger of California, "I'll be back." The line he pinned around the whole world that's very popular and famous is a direct quote out of my book.
Is that right?
That's right. It's a direct quote out of my book. That's right. And how he lands and everything and how he comes and when he's time traveling, all that is in my book. And the special effects, they come from me. Those special effects was created in the 80s, 81/83, 84. And they belong to me, and I'll use them damn well as I please.
Now,
there's no way no one can challenge me. They will lose.
So as a fan of the films, having seen the films, it's all starting to come together now. This must be why in the first film, I can recall what was deemed in the film as the father of the chosen son, the John Connor character, having nightmares about a future where the machines ruled. Now that, to me, in my mind, that seems to indicate really what the Matrix was really all about.
It is. Actually, it is. And people are making the connections. There were guys that made the connection. There are articles on it where they say the Matrix and the Terminators are related. I got the evidence.
This is very, very interesting news. Now, also, and I have to say this as well. Now,